both these players settling in at 1-1 though. Logan going to start off with a Soul Mender. I am getting everything updated. Let's go ahead and get the clock started, just in case these players end up needing some extra time. Almost there, guys. Alright, so I'm caught up on my end. Everything looks good here. Logan skyrocketing up to 24 life off that Radiant Fountain. Plus a couple activations. Oh my goodness, he's got a Johnny's Primate. Wow. Don't look at the screen for a couple seconds, and Logan has assembled his combo of turn 1 a Johnny's, turn 2 a Johnny's Primate. Only better because it had a turn 1 Soul Mender. My goodness, Zach is going to be fighting an uphill battle all game here. We've got a 6/6 Primate facing down a Welcome Turn and a Witch's Familiar, the 2/3 for 3. So Zach up against it here. Gonna bash in. Logan been main phasing his activations of his Soul Mender. And here's a Peel. Looks like we're gonna bounce one of our. Looks like we're gonna bounce a Welcome Turn and a. I don't know what we just did here. Yeah, I was about to say, the spell that bounces 2 of their guys is a sorcery. Zach learning that the hard way. Gonna drop down to 1. And if that's not enough to put a man on tilt, I don't know what is. So these players figured it out. Zach basically time-walked himself by not knowing cards in the format. That's what happens whenever you never play Magic. No one really at fault there. So Zach gonna main phase the Into the Void. Get Logan's giant Primate back in his hand. Looks like we've got all this straightened out over here. Zach trying to stabilize. Of course, he has done, roughly 8 damage to Logan. It doesn't look like it because Logan's sitting at a healthy 19 life. There's an Indulgent Tormentor coming down though. If there's anything that's going to pull Zach ahead in this matchup, it's going to be that card. The Bomb from his pool, 5/3 flyer that can start getting some incremental advantage during his upkeep. This looks like a Triplicate Spirits, and it sure is. Tapping the Kinsblade for the Convoke. So 3/1/1 Spirits coming down with Zach at 1 life. It's a very scary card. Zach's now going to have to come up with, oh wow, Logan doing him a favor by sacking one of the Spirits instead of the Kinsblade. There's a meteorite going to take down a spirit. This way, if Zach wants to block next turn, he can block with the Indulgent Tormentor and not have to waste one of his Welkin turns. Or waste his Welkin turn on a lowly 1/1 spirit. Is this a interactive spell? Nope, here's the Pride Mate. Is the Soul Mender going to come back down? Soul Mender not quite a Soul Sister, but the way that Logan drew him this game, turn one Soul Mender into turn 2 a Johnny's Pride Mate was pretty good in and of itself. Logan thinking about a spell. Just going to pass the turn instead. Representing just about every trick in the book. I'm going to pay 3 life so Zach doesn't get to draw a card off his Indulgent Tormentor. That Meteorite's going to put Zach up to 6 mana. And there's 3 mana for a Frostlinks. I'm going to tap down the creature closest to us. I don't know what that card is. Zach feeling frisky enough to battle in. Logan, for whatever he was representing, he just doesn't do anything. Chumps with the spirit. So the Indulgent Tormentor getting a lot of value out there as it starts eating creatures and draining Logan. We've seen it eat 2 spirits so far and get a bolt in. Soulbender going to come down. I think Zach's out there lamenting the fact that he could use that on his side because he is at 1 life. Logan going to be able to untap with 4 creatures. Zach conveniently has 4 blockers. We'll see if he has either more creatures or more interaction to go with that. As it is right now, he is dead to any removal spell from Logan. Zach gonna give some pause here. Let things happen as is. I'm gonna untap and place the Tormentor trigger on the stack. Logan gonna pay 3 life. The end is in sight for Logan. The light at the end of the tunnel is shining bright for him. He is within striking distance. Surely one of these creatures will be able to get through at some point. If Zach has an Encrust here, it's a very nice follow-up to his Lynx. Of course, if he does, and he's getting in with the Tormentor first, that's an awfully dangerous play, as Logan could have some form of interaction here. There is said Encrust. We see what Zach is sneakily holding back in his hand. That is a Dissipate. Followed up with the Necromancer Assistant, the 3/1 mill 3. So Zach spawned himself a little bit of a cushion here. And suddenly he's turned up the heat here on Logan. know what mythic artifacts from the set do. Yeah, let's hope both these players can find workable sixes. We'll get there eventually. Logan has to finish explaining a combo deck involving Chain Veil and other planeswalkers. We figured it out. Alright, both players had a land. Zach Evans gonna drop a turn 2 Child of Night to be matched by turn 2 Pridemate. Zach has to, I imagine, immediately offer the trade here. So, offering the trade. This is a very obviously telling situation to see what Logan has in his hand. If he has other life gain effects, or is just afraid of a pump spell. Nothing really to gain there, as he could have just been playing around any kind of effect. Which is familiar to the 2 mana 2/3 going to come down, making any kind of attacks unfavorable for Logan. So Zach going to bash in here for 4. Going to swing the life totals once again, 14 to 24. Pretty good start from him. He is, of course, missing blue mana altogether. Logan's going to put a +2/+2 Vigilant enchantment on his creature, making it a 4/4 Pridemate. Good reason not to trade with it for the Child of Night. Of course, we do see a Peel from Reality in Zach's hand, and if all Zach does this turn is bash for 4 and 2 for 1 this Pridemate, seems like a pretty good turn. Though not technically a 2 for 1. I guess more a... Well, this is... yeah. So we get to bash for 2, and then replay the Child of Night. So basically we've just made the enchantment fall off. I think still worth. As that 4/4 was holding back any kind of progress Zach was going to make on this board. And he did find an island. Logan just replaying the Pridemate and passing turn. It's kind of telling that he had no action whenever he didn't advance his board in any other way than play an Aura the last turn. So, not surprising that he didn't have a creature or a trick this turn. And Zach going to follow up with the best card in his deck, his Indulgent Tormentor. And there's an Oppressive Raise. So now anytime that Zach's going to want to attack or block, he's going to have to pay 3 mana. And there's the Kinsblade. So that Thrall going to get to live the dream of being a 3/4 for about 4 seconds. Logan feeling like he can neither pay the life or sacrifice a creature. He's just going to give Zach an extra card. Zach going to hit his land drop once again. At least we're seeing his deck fire on all cylinders. Get you for 7. Follow up with a Bronze Sable. So Logan's going to need to find an answer quick. He's going to attack for 2. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, Logan Cutlip. You get this one time. My goodness. 7 mana for a 4/4 flyer. Gain 17 life as it does reset his life total back to its starting, which was 20. Logan want to sacrifice a creature, so Zach doesn't get to draw a card. Zach's still going to hit his land drop. So now Zach has the 4/4 to worry about facing off against his 5/3. Someone out there is yelling the number 4. Pay for oppressive raise. We'll see if we want to offer the trade. Logan has no interest in that, it seems. He's just going to take 5. Drop himself down to 15. And thank goodness Logan had no board whenever he played that Angel, or else he'd actually be in a position to win this game. But my goodness, gain 17 life off one spell. Pretty good. You see him follow up with a Shadow Cloak Vampire. I'm going to trigger his demon. Not the normal demon we've been seeing lately. This demon doesn't get +1/+1 counters, but you can still sacrifice creatures to it. I'm going to have the option to throw away one of his creatures, which I don't think is right whenever your creatures cost 5 and 7 mana. Instead, he's going to pay 3 life to prevent Sir Zachary Evans from getting to draw an extra card this turn. Zach has yet to miss a land drop this game. I'm going to pay the 3. Still have 5 mana up. And Logan neither attacking or blocking with this Resolute Archangel seems a bit suspect. He might be more willing to block this turn. Or he could pay 2 life and block with the Vampire. So we took 5 from it last turn, but we're willing to trade with it this turn. We'll see if Zach has any tricks. We know he did not draft a Downpour. In fact, he had a Downpour in the last few picks of a pack and just passed right over it, so we know he doesn't have a trick. It's one Logan Cutlip knows. Well, Logan Cutlip doesn't know that he doesn't have a trick, though. I'm going to follow it up with a Gravedigger. Get back his Indulgent Tormentor. Gravedigger always good whenever it can draw a card for you. Gravedigger even better whenever it can draw the best card in your deck for you. And there it is again. We see the bonds on Shadow Cloak Vampire, a combo in and of itself. We can pay life to get in there and then gain the life back. Of course, this does leave Logan wide open. Zach can get in for 6 this turn. And there we see the Drain 4 going to be used on the Vampire. The spell that did Zach in last game going to 2-for-1 Logan in this game. Logan's follow-up not so good as his Resolute Archangel turn. This turn it's only going to be the 1/2 Lifelink Flying Pegasus. Of course, I think they're required by law to print a crappy Pegasus in every deck, and here's this one. Follow up 6 mana 4/4. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but we are doing commentary in here on this feature match, and there's commentary going on outside of that feature match as Ian Stragi is live and in person at Lost Legion Games and Comics. So any game of Magic that's going on, you can guarantee that he'll be there saying stuff about it to the players playing the game. Triplicate Spirit's going to come down for Logan. Ian Stragi going to stand by the table and give Logan advice. Zach still never going to miss a land drop. 10 lands in play at this point. We got 4 mana. Is this the Into the Void? Zach trying to figure out what the blocks are going to be. Looks like he's willing to throw away his Bronze Sable. Alright, so I have not updated these life totals. Life totals are now 2 to 20. Alright. Logan Cutlip going to come to the realization that everybody else in the store has, which is this game is over. This game was over long before the Resolute Archangel reset his life total, but we kept playing it out anyway. Into a slow death, Zach Evans going to go up a game. Zach Evans going to draw it back to even and going to bring us to the ultimate game, Game 3 of Round 3 here at Release Night Draft at Lost Legion Games and Comics. I see a question in the chat. I was wanting to start a stream. Need to know how you guys decide feature matches for Round 1. We just pick people that we know aren't going to mess up their games on the camera. Whenever you are picking matches for a stream to broadcast to people to watch and to be saved on YouTube later, you want players that don't mess up. You don't want something to happen on camera where you have an irreparable game state. So you usually just pick players that you're very comfortable with putting on camera. And then as the tournament filters on, the top tables will usually have players selected that meet that criteria simply because they're players at the top tables. So there's that. That brief interlude brought to you by Garrett's streaming advice here on Zach Sells Magic Stream. Both these players happy with their configuration from Game 2. Just shuffle them up and present for Game 3. We'll see if both players can get a keepable 7. We saw them both mulligan to 6 last game. Oh my goodness. We saw it in Game 1. Will we see it in Game 2? Turn 1 Soulmender from Logan Cutlip. I think if he has turn 2 a Johnny's Pride Mate, Zach might reach across the table and punch him. Oh my goodness. We did not see it. Alright. Turn 1 Soulmender. Turn 2 Bronze Sable from Zach. Two islands from Zach. You gotta wonder if he has a swamp. He does have a swamp. I'm gonna attack with my 2 mana guy into your 1 mana guy that can trade with it. Alright. Logan just takes it. Goes to 19, back up to 20. 4 mana. 4 mana for the enchantment that first response. If you take damage, you get a 1/1. At the next upkeep. So if you take damage on your turn, your opponent's turn, you get a 1/1. If you take damage the next turn, you get a 1/1 on the next upkeep. The combo in Logan's deck is he has 2 of those and a Pain Land. So it's pretty much Bitter Blossom. Bronze Sable gonna do 1 damage a turn, fighting against this Soul Mender. The Blue Lord comes down for Zach. The Shadow Cloak Vampire comes down for Logan. We get some creatures that might actually be able to start doing incremental damage to each other. Zach going to bash in with his 2/2s. Logan's sick of this Bronze Sable. He's finally going to block with the Soul Mender. He sees no other reason to keep it around. Looks like Zach's going to pass priority. We can see Zach has a Gravedigger in his hand, and that's probably the reason why he's very willing to trade off any of these creatures. He wants to draw a card off that Gravedigger. So Logan gonna activate his Soul Mender before it dies. The Shadow Cloak Vampire just gonna eat the Paragon. And sure enough, we will see it. Nope. Thought for sure we'd see the Gravedigger out of Zach, but no such thing. And the Vampire gets in, drops Zach down to 16. Logan going to get 3 dudes. Seriously. There's a good reason for Zach to do that. There's Jace's Ingenuity at end of turn. Going to draw him 3 cards. Both players hitting their 6 land drop. There's an Encrust. So the Vampire going to bite the dust, and then Zach going to follow up with the give all non-black creatures -1/-1. Pretty good answer to 6 mana triplicate spirits is 3 mana kill all of your triplicate spirits. Logan had no play on his turn. We do know that he has the 7 mana Resolute Archangel in his deck, so he could just be posturing for that. Both players go up to 7 mana. We see Zach has the Familiar in his hand. He does only have, no, he has 2 Swamps. So we'll see what he can come up with this turn. There's a Familiar. Then is he going to fire off the Gravedigger? Looks like he's decided to. Gravedigger getting back. Blue Paragon. Doesn't seem like the worst thing. Doesn't seem like the most exciting thing. Doesn't seem like the worst thing. Logan just passing the turn. If he's posturing with this Angel, you gotta ask yourself why. Of course, he could just have absolutely nothing. And there's the Paragon, able to jump either of these black creatures. Also going to be buffing this Frostling that makes sure that this Shadow Cloak Vampire that was already tapped and encrusted is not going to untap during Logan's untap step. Logan puts the hand down, crosses the arms. Zach going to be able to bash in for 9 this turn. Right, the Frostlynx is a 3-power creature, right? has a Devout Missionary. We're going to trust that these players got the life totals right. As the Paragon isn't a trigger, it's just a static ability, not really something that they're allowed to mess up. We're going to jump the links. I think that's what we're figuring out now. Yep. We should have been bashing for 9 last turn. Players wrote down 8. We gotta fix this turn. No harm, no foul.
I was being facetious, guys.
Zach now explaining that even though he missed that his Blue Lord was buffing his blue creature, that Logan should have realized it as well. We're going to oppressive raise this Frostlings now, which surprisingly is the largest creature on the battlefield. So it looks like Logan fighting to stabilize here. I've got a feeling, though. I've got just this inkling that Logan Cutlip is posturing this Resolute Archangel just because he's Logan Cutlip. I'd be surprised if he did not have that card in his hand right now. So Zach can jump a guy and get over those missionaries. Uh-oh. So Zach attacking for 9. Logan thinking about blocking just 2 of it. Turns out that he wants to not die this turn. He'll go down to 1. Pretty solid play, I think. As blocking the way that he originally thought he could block would have killed him. Zach just going to pass the turn. Guys, I told you. I told you. Aw, he fooled even me. Logan Cutlip. Logan Cutlip fooled even me with the Resolute Archangel bluff. He tapped his 7 mana. He was going to gain the 19 life, but instead he sticks out the hand. Congratulating Zach on his win. So congratulations to Zach Evans, going 2-1 on the night. Logan Cutlip, unfortunately, only able to win 1 match.
I had, before we sign off, to talk about how bad a Magic player I am. Game 1, you may be wondering, why is he not attacking with Welcome Turn? Well, that's because I'm like, I'll just block with it.
What is the only rules text on Welcome Turn besides flying?
I can't block. Only creatures with flying can I block.
This amazing gameplay comment was whenever I pointed out that if Logan blocks the way he was going to block the last turn, he just dies.
Yeah, he forgot that the thing was a 3/3.
Well, both of you did.
Huh?
Both of you did. Because you wrote down
Yes.
the 8 life instead of the 9 life. We gotta straighten out in here, and then you guys gotta straighten out there. So
Yeah.
no harm, no foul.
Well, I made a horrible misplay when I suicided my Paragon. Because I was like, well, I'll just was it Festering Blight, or was it? Everything, all 9 black creatures get -1/-1.
On his black creature?
Yeah. Like a pro.
Well, we ended up getting the triplicate spirits. So.
Well, that's why that's in the sideboard, and that's why I brought it in, because like he has 2 faded first response,
Yeah,
and then that triplicate spirits.
and the Soulmender and
That turn where I encrust his dude and then Wrath of God with the spirit tokens felt pretty good.
yeah, it was pretty good.
I mean, I made a I'm already preparing. I'm already donning mental armor for the YouTube comments. They're gonna be like, why did he do that? Well, because he's bad at Magic. Haunted Plate Mail won me the game we didn't play on camera against Ian. The Haunted Plate Mail won me basically game number 2, because I mean, once you get the long game and you can just put it on one creature attack and put it on another creature, and Child of Night with Haunted Plate Mail is pretty good.
Yeah, plus all your flyers.
Yeah.
Who won your game?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got distracted. I did.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know. It was fun. My deck is not very good, but that demon is very good. And then I just had like just enough tricks and stuff to like.
Also, Gravediggering your demon, pretty good.
Well, I mean, there's like I won a game against Ian. Like I Gravedigger my Child of Night, then I unmake the Graves, Child of Night, and Gravedigger. Like I played the same Child of Night 4 times that game. But my deck has to do that because it doesn't have any good cards in it.
Right, but whenever your deck does that, it's it's a reasonable curve.
Yep. All right. Let's
How
piece
do-
out these peeps.
How do we broadcast?
Yeah, broadcast, and that's it.